man died of a big disease with a little name. By chance his girlfriend came across a needle and soon she did the same. At home there were 17-year-old boys and their idea of fun is being in a gang called the Disciples, high on crack and toting a machine gun. Times hurricane and it ripped the ceiling off a church and killed everyone inside. You turn on the telly and every other story is telling you somebody died. My sister killed her baby cause she couldn't afford to feed it, and was sending people to the moon. In September my cousin tried reefer for the very first time. Now he's doing horse. It's June. Ship explodes.
This is the Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show, your destination for the best in social and political straight talk. And now, here's your host, Miss Tanya Free.
Today is Wednesday, January the 6th. Happy New Year and welcome to the Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show. I am Tanya Free, joined by my friends, Van Nevels. How are you?
Happy New Year's to you, to all. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, thank you.
Yes,
and
are.
Also with us is Gilbert Wilkerson. How are you?
Hi, Tanya, and all the listening guests.
Thank you for being here. And also with us is John Finn. How are you?
Hi, Tanya. How you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. This new year. And also sitting at our social media desk and Rory correspondent is Antoinette Baylor. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Good, good. And working behind the scenes is Miara White, Marcus Evans, and Mr. Free. Thank you all for listening today. We want our listening friends to join the conversation. Your comments and opinions are welcome. Phone lines are open, 804-321-1010. Our toll-free number, 844-321-1010. Or you can text us at Tanya Free 63975. And you're listening on your phone, you can dial 712-832-2784. Thanks to our friends at AM/FM 247 Network. And before we get started, I want to give a big thank you to my friend Ty Bailey for sitting in for us while we were away for a special treat of a special edition of Just Jazz, a very special holiday edition, I should say. You can tune in to Great Jazz with my friend Ty Bailey with Just Jazz every Saturday night at 9 p.m. right here at Tanya Free and Friends Network. And I also want to give a big thank you to my friend Chocolate Chip for a stroll down memory lane. And you can tune in to my friend Chocolate Chip for a stroll down memory lane every Thursday at 1 p.m. on WCLM 1450, my home station. Let's just jump in here and just get started with a tragedy that happened last year. It actually happened the day after Christmas, that involves the death of a 55-year-old woman named Betty Jones that, according to reports, was accidentally shot by police. Also shot and killed by police was 19-year-old LeGrier, and who apparently, that's his last name. I'm not even going to try to say his first name. The reason for the shooting was a domestic dispute between the father and the son. And you know, what's disturbing about this story to me is that there wasn't a lot of media attention given to the story. There's a lot going on in Chicago with regards to the Laquan McDonald story that happened in 2014, but the video was not released until late last year. And it looked like it was a cover-up, and the residents there are calling for Rahm Emanuel's resignation. Now, with all that's going on in Chicago, I would think that the citizens there, as well as the media, would have jumped more on this story, especially since there was an incident with accidental shooting with this 55-year-old woman.
Because you're not hearing about it doesn't mean that the people in the area aren't making a whole bunch of noise about it.
Well, don't
You're
you
just
think...
not getting a whole lot of TV coverage on it. Matter of fact, short of social media, it's been all but missing
Correct.
from any conversation concerning such things.
And that's the problem. Don't you think that there should have been more media coverage, and also the social media, as well as Black Lives Matter and the protests, should have been more up in arms with this particular story, being that an innocent person was killed as well.
Yeah, there should have been a whole lot more coverage about Tamir Rice directly after the incident and now.
Now, I think that there was more coverage. Well, there has been a lot of coverage with Tamir Rice exactly after that happened.
Yeah.
This one is not. I think I heard there's been maybe like a day or two of coverage on this particular story.
Barely that.
Okay, Gilbert, what do you think? What's your take on
I think it's just what it is. It's an accidental shooting and being investigated. We can jump to conclusions and speculations, but that's what it always is that speculations and innuendos, because we don't know anything.
Yeah, you got to speculate based on law enforcement's refusal for the most part to even give out details about such things.
Well,
so that then requires you. If you don't get a good enough explanation, you're going to speculate about X, Y, and Z.
That's true, but it doesn't help to speculate because you don't draw any solid conclusions. The police are not going to give you everything they know because it's an investigation. I would hope they wouldn't.
Okay, well, let me ask this question: do you all think where's Black Lives Matter?
Good question. They're
Very
probably
good question.
somewhat trying to matter. I don't know.
You know, with this particular shooting, you have to realize that Chicago has its plate full,
right,
with incidents going on around that right now. But this particular issue and this particular situation, this young man was in need of assistance,
right,
from the police, and the family called the police in to assist them in handling them. And as a result, we end up with another dead young man, as well as with a grandmother,
right,
murdered.
Well, and see, that's once again, waiting for the media to bring it to the forefront. But once again, my question goes back to where is Black Lives Matter? Where is the protest, the outrage with regards to this incident? Yes, like I said, there's a lot of media coverage, as it should be, as well as protests, Black Lives Matter with Tamir Rice. But I think this incident deserves just as much attention. And
absolutely.
That's one of the things that bother me and the reason why I'm bringing it up.
I can't speak towards or for in defense of Black Lives Matter movement, those representatives, and what they're doing or not doing with this particular case. But I could also say that the media is going to choose what it's going to show and what it's not going to show.
And that's the problem. We shouldn't allow the media to choose.
Well, you don't pay the media, so you can't allow nothing. Really.
We should not allow the media to pick and choose what stories could be, because we got social media.
That's true.
Social media can be just as strong and more powerful as the mainstream media.
Clearly. And Democracy Now! Has been on this, which is my favorite source of news.
Okay. Steve says Rahm Emanuel needs to step down. I agree wholeheartedly.
Wow.
And the fact that this story, in my opinion, got swept under the rug, that leaves Rahm Emanuel unaccountable for this particular incident. What's going on with the law enforcement department.
I don't really care much for Emmanuel, but I don't see how he's responsible for this when he wasn't there. He's not. He doesn't go out on the street.
What are you talking about? He wasn't there. He's an elected official of that city.
Okay.
He's there.
Okay.
Period.
He wasn't at the shooting though. He didn't pull the triggers.
True.
But
he has a problem. But his law enforcement department has a problem, and they just fired the chief, or whatever they call the superintendent.
But why should he step down for what his office has done?
Because he has not been accountable, and especially with the Laquan McDonald situation, that got swept under the rug. And that came out a whole year later.
His election.
That's something. That's another whole different.
No, it's different as much as anything.
Hold his feet to the fire for that particular incident.
Right.
That's true. Mm-hmm. But in this incident, he wasn't in town, so how can you hold him responsible when he wasn't? Sure, Obama's the president of the United States, but things that happen within the government, we can't say Obama should have been there and hold responsible.
And you're right. I agree with you.
Why do you do such things?
Why do I do such things?
Why are you repeating the question?
Well, let me do this. Let's go to the phone. Scotty?
Come on, Scotty, bring it.
Hey, greetings, everyone. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you.
All right. I hope that we have another strong year of black independent media. So I'm just happy that Tanya Free and Friends is on the air to give us a chance to talk about these important issues. There were two things I wanted to address. Black Lives Matter, I mean, when we say, why isn't Black Lives Matter doing this or doing that, who is Black Lives Matter? I mean, we're not talking like an organization that has been around as long as the NAACP.
And has any clout.
They are just now starting over, less than a year, maybe a little more than a year long. They don't have chapters all over the country like the NAACP does and some of the older organizations. These are mostly college students, young college students. Although in some areas of the country, like in Minneapolis, you have the NAACP president who's part of the Black Lives Matter movement. See, it's a movement. It's not an organization.
Right.
There is a few individuals who started a 501c3, and they have a website. But we're not talking about an organization that has thousands, if not tens of thousands. I don't know how large the NAACP membership base is. So when we say, why isn't Black Lives Matter doing this or who are we talking about?
That's true. You got a good point.
Because it started as a hashtag. That's all it was a hashtag on Twitter to bring attention to the killing of unarmed black people. That's all it started off as. And they're still growing. Give them time to grow.
Okay.
You know, maybe they'll turn out to be a good organization. Maybe they'll turn out to be an ineffectual organization, and I ain't going to call no names,
okay,
you know, in addressing these issues.
All right, let me ask this question. Then,
yes, ma'am.
Then where is the NAACP when we've been seeing Black Lives Matter at the forefront then?
Hello.
Well, like I said, in some different locales, because, you know, even in the NAACP, the different chapters at the county level and even at the state level have autonomy, so to speak. They have a certain level of autonomy. And so that's a question that needs to be asked to those chapter presidents or those state presidents where they're at,
right,
you know. And so, look, these shootings are happening so often. Man, we can't have a mass protest for every shooting. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but I think the protest that we've been having seems to be ineffective because nothing's changed.
Well, you know, protesting alone isn't going to change anything, but it is a tool in the toolbox. It has its uses, but just protesting alone isn't going to do anything, and it has had some more positive impacts in changing things around the nation at a local level, you know, here or there, but nationally, no, they haven't. Okay. And the other thing I wanted to address was, you know, the brother that was talking about we can't speculate about these things. The media speculates all day long, absent all the information. So the media isn't stopping from talking about it or reporting on the story or asking questions just because the police ain't issued a statement, you know, or anything like that. Yes, it's under investigation, but we still can ask the questions. We still can speculate. We see in Chicago that they have a pattern and practice of police misconduct. You know, when you say let's wait till the investigation over. Well, let's look at Laquan McDonald's case.
Right.
That attorney, what's her name, Nita Alvarez. She was not going to prosecute that cop. He was on desk duty for over a year while she was so-called investigating. And it was only because a journalist
brought the video
sued under the Freedom of Information Act request to get that video released, then he's charged.
So you think it's good that we can speculate? It's healthy. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it's healthy for us to speculate.
I'm just asking you a question. The media speculates, so that gives us the right to speculate, too. So everybody's speculating. When do we come to the truth?
As soon as the people that have the truth.
I'm just asking you, when speculation happens, when do we come to the truth? Is the speculation, I'm asking the question, does speculation give us the truth, or does an investigation with the truth happens give us the truth?
The speculation is nothing more
than speculation.
Questions being asked. Okay.
No, speculation is when you draw up your own conclusion without any evidence. That's what speculations is.
Nobody's coming to any conclusions in that. Well, look, we know from media reports, all right, from media that's there, that the woman was asked to open up the door. The man who called the police was lived in the top flat. She lived in the bottom flat. He called down to her, asked her to open the door because that was the police. From what I've read, and I've only read a couple of reports, but from what I read, they shot through the door and killed the woman.
Right, she was killed first. You're right.
They shot through the door. So how is that speculation?
How did I don't know what number one, me personally, I don't know where she was standing at. Was she standing behind the guy, or was she in a totally different building? That's my question is where exactly was she when she got shot? And those are speculations
the guy was shot outside the building.
Right.
And
he ran out with the bat.
With a baseball bat.
Okay.
Right.
Where was she standing? Was she standing on the
at the
opposite
door.
building?
She was
behind him.
Right.
Behind him? Was she
had already been shot. And he ran out the door after the fact.
Was she behind him? I mean, I'm sorry. He was in the building.
You don't have any information.
Wait a minute. Let me get my information right.
Go ahead, Gilbert.
She was shot before he came out.
Yes. That's
and
what it
then he
looks
came
like.
With the bat.
Right.
So why was the question now is why was she shot behind the door?
Because she was answering the door.
So they shot behind the door because she was answering the door.
She was answering the door, right.
And so the police pulled out a gun and shot
somebody. Kind of way, right.
I'm just asking. Because speculations are getting in the way. She's at the door. They asked her to close the door, open the door. But before she opens the door, they shoot. That don't even make sense to me.
Well,
that's speculation.
Well, a lot of stuff,
that is speculations 101.
Juan McDonald 16 times in the middle of the
We're not talking about that. We're talking about this particular incident right here.
Well, wait a minute. No.
Don't get riled up, brother.
We talking about the same thing.
Okay.
You talking about that don't make sense. A lot of things don't make sense.
That's why you have to have truth. You have to have investigation. Because she's saying the police shot somebody behind the door. And police don't usually shoot people behind the door when they don't know what's behind the door.
It is clear that she was accidentally shot.
We know that. We know that.
That's clear.
But we don't know what the cause of why they even pulled the trigger. What was the reason?
Speculation or not, we end up with 2 more dead black people.
We know that. We don't. That's not even speculation. That's the truth. We know that. We're talking about the reason.
That's not important.
We're talking about you guys talking about
I want to make.
Rami Danielson B.
This is the last point I want to make.
Okay, go ahead, Scotty.
In terms of calling for the resignation of Rahm Emanuel, now it's coming out through more Freedom of Information Act requests because they ain't going to tell you everything. You're expecting people to investigate themselves and give you the truth. Now it's coming out that Rahm Emanuel, along with the city council, along with the police, there was a conspiracy to keep this quiet. And so he agreed to pay off a family member and $5 million for her to keep her mouth shut, and that was part of the agreement.
Because he was up for re-election.
Don't say nothing about this. Here's your $5 million. Go away. And now we finding out that Rahm Emanuel signed off on that deal along with city council and the police, and we know for a fact that cop was sitting up for a year when they had the video of him murdering this child. He sat up on death duty getting paid for a year.
So,
and it was only charged when reporters forced him to release that video.
So
yes,
it should
he
be
needs to resign along with those other people.
Well, that's what I want to hear.
That's
what I want you to hear. Yeah. Not only him, but others should be resigning too.
Steve makes a good point there. He needs to resign. He doesn't need to resign because of the way the police operate in Chicago. He needs to resign because he covered it up.
That's part of the cover-up.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with that.
Scotty, tell everybody to listen to your show. We got to go to break real quick.
Yeah, you can listen to Black Talk Radio News every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time on Black Talk Radio Network. Thank you all.
Thank you, friend.
We
appreciate
Scotty.
it.
Peace and love. Happy
Today's praise break is he's keeping me great thing. He keeps doing great things for me by LaShawn Price. Sponsored by DNS Cleaning, Residential and Commercial Cleaning Services, 804-272-3138.
Doing great things for me. He keeps on doing great things for me. He keeps right on doing great things for me. If I had 10,000 hands,
There's never enough time for everything in a day, and the last thing you want to worry about is having to clean your home or business. Let D&S Cleaning Services make it a little easier for you. We do the work so you don't have to, and there's no job too big or too small. We offer full-service cleaning service for residential and commercial properties, including floor cleaning, stripping and waxing, carpet cleaning, and more. Our staff is professional, courteous, and trained for the highest level of customer satisfaction. Call us today at 804-272-3138.
In all honesty, if racists offered me $100,000 to lie on Obama, I'd do it. Nobody believes that crap anyway. What? You want me to say he's a Muslim born in Kenya? Heck, make it $200,000 and I'll say blacks started white colonial slavery 1,000 years before whites even existed.
It's the Real Brother Radio Show.
New time, mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern on Real Brother Radio Network and realbrotherradionetwork.com. Brought to you by Black Trade Lines. Go to blacktradelines.com and register your business or service today. Black Trade Lines. Empowerment is only a download away.
What is New Orleans Talk Network? It's today's hottest topics with an added flair. You get ready because the conversation will be hot and better yet, mobile. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app available on Android, iPhone, iPad, and you can listen to us on the web at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com. Write down our talk line at 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255. Interactive and worldwide. That's what we are. Join in on the real conversation and tell a friend about the New Orleans Talk Network.
Join me, Ty Bailey, on Just Jazz, the weekly jazz program aired on Saturday nights from 9 until 11 p.m. Just Jazz showcases the best in jazz, current releases, reissues, and selections from past great recordings. It's here on the Tanya Free and Friends Radio Network at TanyaFree.com. Just Jazz is also streamed 24 hours a day at TyBailey.com.
Reclaiming the Drum, WMXP 95.5 FM. Greenville's people-powered radio. Reclaiming the Drum.
Join the conversation. Phone lines are open right now at area code 804-321-1010 in Central Virginia and 844-321-1010 coast to coast.
Let's go to Ohio and talk about Tamir Rice. 4 days before the new year, a grand jury declined to indict the rookie officer in the killing of 12-year-old Tamir Rice, who was carrying a pellet gun. What happened that this officer was not charged? John, what do you think?
I have no idea. Out of all of these shootings, this is the one that gets me the most. These guys rolled up on this kid, and they just simply executed him. And I cannot understand for the life of me why the leadership in Cleveland, did not just simply admit to what they'd done here. It is tragic. It is horrible. There are reports I've heard that this officer was unfit to be a policeman somewhere else.
Right, you're absolutely right.
I have no idea what made him fit to be one in Cleveland.
Because they didn't do a background check when he applied at the Cleveland Police Department.
Are you sure about that? Are you
sure about that? I read the same thing. Yeah, I read the same thing.
Okay, I didn't know.
And he's had some other performance issues, like John said, at other jobs, prior employment. And like you said, Van, there was no background check done when he was hired. I just knew.
But I do want to talk
So
about this.
let me ask you a question, though. Do you think these officers were out to shoot this kid because?
Let's see what the
what
videotape
reason?
shows.
I mean, come on, he has a gun, right? He does have a gun.
But when you
But
jump
we're
out of
talking
the
about criminal
vehicle,
charges.
when you jump out of the vehicle and it looks like they just jump right out and just start to shoot.
Because he had a gun coming out.
No. According to what
Okay.
they said, they told him to drop the gun.
Right.
They said he then reached into his pants band to pull the gun out, and when they did, they shot him.
Okay.
Now, was he not doing what they asked him to do?
Right. He wasn't pointing it at him or anything like that. So that's
the whole thing.
How can you say drop your gun? You don't have a gun.
Hold on. It happened within less than 2 seconds. They literally got out the car shooting.
Right.
No.
First of all, they should not have just driven up like that. You want to stand.
That may be true.
You want to stand
That
back
may be
and
true.
observe for a
That may be
second.
negligence in
Furthermore,
some sense,
information
but
that was pertinent to the situation was not passed on to the police. Was the fact that the 911 caller said that it's probably a kid and he's probably holding a toy gun.
Which they didn't give to the officers.
Right.
That didn't make it to them. But regardless of that, if you get a call of a person in a park, you don't want to just run up on them, I don't think. I think you'd want to sit back and observe and see what's going on.
But you got to go.
You could identify whether or not this person is in fact an adult.
Okay.
But is in fact carrying an actual gun, something like that.
But see, when we look at it, when we look at the film, it looks that way.
Have
but
you seen the videotape?
I have seen it
in real speed.
I don't know if real speed. I've ever seen it when it stopped. But let me ask you something. We've had a grand jury investigating with black and white on the grand jury, and they're saying it wasn't to the criminal, to the type who was criminal. Some things were missed.
Now, what conditions? What conditions?
Wait a minute, let him finish.
You know, you didn't report that he was a kid. That didn't get reported. And when they pulled up on, there were some things that should have been done that wasn't done. But did it reach the point where they were criminally should be criminally prosecuted for a crime? That's the question.
Yes.
The grand jury who said it, that which was black and white, who I would believe that wanted justice says no, it don't come to this point.
How do you know that they were black and white, but you don't know?
I can pretty much guarantee you. I can pretty much like the Freddie Gray. Don't you think the Freddie Gray? They had black and white on the Freddie Gray.
Well, hold your thought for a minute. Let me go to the phone. Reggie, how are you, friend?
Happy New Year to Tanya and to her illustrious family there.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
And I had to wonder if they had pulled up on those clowns out there in Oregon that took over government facility. They had shot them. Oh, no, that's right. They won't shut it down because they say it's an out-of-way place, as Mr. Lemon said, and they said we should ignore it. But, you know, if black folks had took over like Black Lives Matter, wonder what would have happened. But
isn't that apple and oranges, bro?
No, not really.
It's not?
Because from the historical point of view. But okay, you know what?
You're going to speculation now, Reggie.
Hold on. I'm going to make this statement, and I want y'all to help me out. Okay, now, Dr. Ben Carson, now just help me out. Dr. Ben Carson had a little problem this week by his staff and everything, but Dr. Ben Carson was the flavor of the month. Okay, hold. It was Allen Keyes. Just look at Allen Keyes. It's a pattern here. Allen Keyes was told by Republicans, if you're going to get President Obama for his Tennessee, we're going to pay all your debts off so you don't have to file bankruptcy. Ho. We had the Pizza King, Mr. 999. All these three young men
who was
had
also
something
on
in
the
common.
board of the Federal Reserve, too.
All these three young men had something in common. Each of them were the flavor of the month, come politics. Each one were black Republicans. And when they got done with them like toilet paper, they made sure they shut them up and kicked them to the curb. Now, this is from the historical point of view. So I'm saying that when it comes to those clowns out there that took over federal buildings that are European, they are left alone. But yet again, when black folks come up and do something, just like the Black Panthers, when they came, we're going to go ahead and bring guns into a city council meeting. Oh, hell no. We got to make changes, man. And this is from the historical point of view. Can y'all help a brother out? Help me out.
Well, I'm going to bring it a little bit closer home than that when there were protests in Baltimore or Missouri, you call out the National Guard. And my understanding, when I last looked at the situation in Oregon, no one has been called.
I wonder why.
Now,
help me out. I'm just a little country boy. Can y'all help me out?
And they take over a federal building, I would think somebody would have been called. Van?
Come on, brothers, help me out. The beautiful queen is speaking. Y'all help me out.
It may as well be a friggin' rest stop. It's not.
It's not waiting the boondocks.
This is a warehouse.
Okay,
they don't have any hostages.
Let's bring it a little closer home.
They don't have any hostages.
If someone in Baltimore had taken over a federal building, or let's put us in Oregon, taking over a federal building, do you think we would have been treated the same?
Oh no, definitely not. Are you kidding me?
With a toy gun, like the young man in Cleveland with a toy gun. That's a whole other story.
And let's go back to Tamir Rice. If Tamir Rice had been white and playing with a pellet gun, do you think the officer would have acted in the same manner?
No.
Tamir Rice
and I defy anybody to prove me wrong. I said no. Hell no. You done have people in Texas that have killed a whole house full of people, and they walked away unscathed many a time.
I was watching the news the other night, and I saw a black police officer, a retired police officer from St. Louis, and he was saying that he was not aware of his 30 years of police service where a black officer shot a white child or a white adult that was unarmed. And that gave me pause.
You can't find that pretty much anywhere in this country, if I'm not mistaken. That kind of scenario.
No, you can't.
I wonder why.
Really. Reggie, tell anybody who listen to your show.
This Saturday at 11:45 to 1, hopefully we're going to have Bush Johnson from the Dallas Cowboys going to talk about the new concussion. And he... I got him upset because I called some football players slaves, and he didn't like that.
I guess not.
But it was in love. It was in love. Oh, and also support the Freedom Classic coming up soon. Virginia State Virginia Union at Richmond Coliseum.
Absolutely. Thank you, friend. We appreciate it.
HBCU for life.
Okay, thank you. But that's a good point you made, John.
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
You don't hear about that. Actually, not only do you not hear about black officers shooting white folks, you don't hear about white folks shooting unarmed white folks. And so, when they talk about, training is needed and they need restraint, well, restraint is being demonstrated, except for one group of people.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So my conclusion comes out of this is that white cops are only killing black people.
That's what we're seeing.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what we're seeing.
Is there because they're patrolling black areas, or is it suburban?
There's less value on a black life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That is simply it. To go back to your point where you were making about the grand jury, I mean, we had a district attorney come in and basically represent the police officers. He brought in witnesses to testify on the police officers' behalf.
Right.
And
isn't that what all grand jurors do?
No.
They don't do that?
No.
They bring in the other side?
The district attorney's job is to get an indictment in front of a grand jury. Yeah. It's not a big truth-searching matter. When a district attorney brings a case to the grand jury, he has already determined that he is there for an indictment. And for him to come in and put on a defense for the police in a case like this, or any case.
We're talking about the Rice grand jury?
Yes, I'm talking about the Rice grand jury.
And you know for a fact that he brought these people in?
Yes, he brought in experts that... And two of them, as a matter of fact.
From what I remember from a reporter who was there, he said that the prosecutor actually got into the jury well and was belittling the folks that were trying to prosecute this officer as witnesses and stuff. And I'm like, and he said he'd never seen such a thing ever in an instance before a grand jury. Yeah, furthermore, we are the only country, I think, that is first world that even uses a grand jury system. Everyone else has gotten rid of it because, what's the old saying? In a grand jury, a ham sandwich can be convicted, and that's exactly why the other countries don't use it.
Yeah, pointed out that he was large for a 12-year-old. He wore a size 12 shoe.
I heard that too.
Good gracious.
Yeah, but still, there's no excuse for them, in my opinion.
He was still a 12-year-old child.
Yes.
But did they know he was a 12-year-old
because
child?
Why did they ask him to lay on the ground? Or if they ask him to show his hands?
Yeah, after the fact, yeah. We ain't talking about after
But they didn't take the time to find out. They also claimed that they had asked him 3 times to put the gun down. You can't do that.
What is that about the 12-year-old?
In less than 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talking about the 12-year-old, but how did they know there was a 12-year-old? I'm saying, when did he drop? Nobody
They should have taken the time to find out what was going on. And if they had gotten out the car,
in retrospect, we can always go back and fix it.
Yeah, well, they were on a playground, so that should have helped.
Dead. Dead means dead. Ain't no fixing it.
Well, the fact remains, they got out of the car too quickly before trying to find out if this child was 12 years old.
Oh, no question. We know that.
Whether he had a pellet gun or whatever.
And
it seems
is it criminal that they actually jumped out and shot the boy without any provocation?
Yes.
Didn't have his back turned like the other guy who had his back turned. We see a difference here.
But how was it deadly?
So why are you asking these questions?
The question is, how were they in danger? Before they even, find out what he was pulling.
You have when somebody has a gun, you have 6 to 8 seconds to react.
And who white told you that?
You don't believe that? That's the police. You don't believe they have a 6? Give me a gun and see can you react. If I have a gun on you,
they would have had more time.
If I have a gun, how long do you guys think? How long do you guys think? If I have a weapon, how long do you think I can shoot you? How many seconds do you think I can shoot?
They would have had many more seconds if they
how many?
If they would have pulled up a substantial way away from
that's,
this kid.
That's in retrospect,
they were in a car. It was a car between them and the young man. So if you're talking to him and trying to talk, to me, they weren't trying to talk him down or trying to give the situation.
They were trying to gun him down and were successful.
So because he was black.
I think that has
or
to do
because
with
he had a gun.
I think because
I want to ask
he
you
was black.
Do you think he was
black both? Because he was black with a gun.
Because had it been a white kid, I think it would have been a different
Let's be clear. He didn't have a gun. He did not have a gun.
Right, he had a pellet gun.
He had a pellet gun. So it looked like a 45, right?
It's funny how you don't know so much, but certain details.
I saw in the news they had the gun.
What you doing, man?
Well, he's entitled to his opinion.
No, I'm looking at the facts of what they showed on the TV of the prosecutor when they came up with the investigation.
Well, let me ask this question: had he been your son?
No, let me finish. A pellet gun looked just like a real gun when you put them both side by side.
That's another issue.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying the police officer should know a pellet gun in 6 seconds than a real gun? How would you react if you had a? I'm not defending the police officer. I'm just.
How would I have acted? I would not have pulled the trigger.
What?
I would not have been trigger happy like that.
You wouldn't have?
No.
You wouldn't go home to your family then?
Yes, I would.
Come on.
I would have used it.
You would not see your kids. If you take an attitude, you would not see your kids.
Then I don't need to be an officer if I am that
That's
trigger
exactly
happy.
what I'm putting my point.
All right, well,
you can't be an officer. If you're going to react like that and
that means you're saying you're just going to start, you're going to jump out the car and just start.
No, this is my thing. If somebody has a weapon on them,
wasn't pointing. From my understanding, he was not pointing a weapon at them.
But you can't see
the weapon was in his pants.
And he was going at his weapon.
Okay.
Doing exactly what they told him to do.
This is my point.
Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Higher
you searching for the best in online black radio? Then go to blacktalkradionetwork.com, helping you filter through the noise. Real talk, black talk.
Put your business on the map for a lot less than you might think with Freedom Marketing. Text the word advertise to 63975 or give them a call at 844-321-1010. That's Freedom Marketing, 844-321-1010.
Has your health insurance changed, or is it about to change? Are you or did you move to a different state, change jobs, get a divorce, get married, or have a baby? Then you know what? You may qualify for a special health insurance enrollment period for the affordable Obamacare plans. And to find the right plan, you can get free help right now from Health Markets. They'll help you choose the right plan from over 140 different companies, plus help you maximize your Obamacare free government subsidies. Why pay a penny more than you have to for health insurance? Call anytime, day or night, to learn more about the special enrollment period to qualify for Obamacare. Here's our number: 800-296-1140, 800-296-1140, 800-296-1140. That's 800-296-1140. Not available in all states.
Hey there, Big John Trimble here. Thanks to Tanya for freeing up the time to allow me to talk about the Big John Trimble Show. Heard Monday through Friday mornings, 6 to 9, right here on WCLM Radio. Yes, sir, after 57 years, I'm still on the radio and 24/7 on BigJohnTrimble.com. It all originates from our backyard studio over here in Verona. We play a wide variety of requested music from Fats Domino, Chuck Berry, and Dinah Washington to George Jones, George Strait, and Loretta Lynn, along with the trivia contest and over-the-fence chats with our listeners from across the Richmond area, across the USA, and sometimes foreign countries. The Big John Trimble Show. It's the most fun you'll ever have with your clothes on.
Join the conversation. Phone lines are open right now at area code 804-321-1010 in Central Virginia and 844-321-1010 coast to coast.
I want to read a message from our friend Gary Gray. He says it's time for African Americans to stand up and take a stand for black lives, because right now black lives really don't matter in the United States. Okay. I agree. We need to stand up. Well, you know what we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I find this interesting. The last time I was here was over a year ago. I need to come on more often. But
hint, hint.
But I said this then. Things like these shootings, black folks have been talking about for years in barbershops and beauty salons. I remember old men saying, man, it's a shame how they shot that boy down. And, these things have been going on forever. And all of a sudden, we get statements like that one that says, now in America, black lives don't matter. Well, they didn't matter much before.
Well, they didn't matter much since we've been, not property. When we was property, oh Lord, they'll go to war over it. Matter of fact, they did.
Well,
if I remember correctly.
Okay, let's go to the phones right quick. Real brother, how are you, friend?
Oh, I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
Good.
Hello to everybody. Happy New Year.
Well, Happy New Year's, man.
Happy New Year.
All right. Well, I guess we're getting closer to that 6 million. I told you. I said even when they get to 6 million black people to kill, then I think that even the black people that are poop on that racists want to kill us because the president's black are going to start realizing that that's what's going on. I think that we're at the place now where we don't have to say, oh, it's just the black people killing each other, and we got all kind of excuses. I think we know what's going on by now. And I think that what we have to do is we have to get white people off those juries, off those grand juries. If the new Black Panther nut was on trial for killing the cracker babies, would they have a bunch of real brothers on the jury? There probably wouldn't be any real brothers on a jury. So why do we have white people on a jury where a white cop murdered some kid because the president's black?
So you say,
but you can't say that.
Yeah, but you making you're making a leap and a half, bro.
Okay, wait a minute. One at a time.
Come on.
Go ahead, Van.
He's making a bit of a leap with that associating with the president. I feel you on that, but you can't tie that solidly.
And how can you say that all grand jurors are white?
Doesn't matter. There should not be white people on a jury when somebody white kills somebody black, because you cannot find a white person on this planet who doesn't think that white people are superior and black people are degenerate.
Oh, really?
They go with you on that one, real brother.
They call you the real brother?
They go with you
I don't know about that, brother.
I really need some what you smoking.
There were some folks that helped.
You've been living in a bubble, I'm telling you.
No, real brother.
But wouldn't that solve the problem, though?
Hey,
no, it wouldn't have solved the problem.
Go back and look at your history on how many whites came there from the north and rode the buses with black people and got killed surfing for black people, bro. Come on.
You need a passport.
Yes, white
You need a passport.
Champion to keep black slaves. They went to war over black slavery. Yeah, you're right. But that's not the same thing as convicting somebody white for killing somebody black. It's not the same thing. Bernie Sanders, if he was on the jury, Bernie Sanders would have voted to not charge these white cops for killing these black kids. There's not a white person on this planet that doesn't think white lives are more important than black lives.
Well, you are tripping.
The prosecutor is white.
Man.
The defense attorney is white. The judge is white. Why does the jury have to be white?
Where do you find window pane?
Okay, John wants to respond to that.
No, I heard him say something earlier, and I just want to make sure I understand what he's saying. Real brother, are you suggesting that black folks are not killing black folks in America?
Come on.
Not to the extent of 200 million of them. Black people haven't killed 200 million black people like white people have.
Let's talk about today.
Black cops
we can't fix what happened.
Black people since
we can't fix what happened on the slave ships, but we can fix today. Let's talk about today. My brother's talking about.
Yeah, we're talking about today. Today we're getting close to 200 million black people.
Where are you getting your facts from, real brother? Where are you getting your facts from? Where are you getting your facts from, real brother?
The facts that come from there was a study done by the federal government, commissioned a study to see how many black people that cops have been killing since 1980, and it was 10,000. There's 200 million black people missing from North America.
And you think the police have killed them?
In what span of time, dude? Come on, now you talking about 2/3 of the entire population?
You jumping out the box, bro.
The cops, 10,000 cops is 19. I know you question my facts because I'm black.
We black too. We are.
I question your facts. You sound like you want to ask.
We question your facts because they're not.
I'm making. Let me make my point. Then you can go back to lying. Here's my point. My point is we must get white people off these juries because they are biased. And there ain't any nice white people. They all are biased. They all believe their lives matter more. So get them off those damn juries, and then let the OJ jury decide some of these cases, and I guarantee you they'll stop killing black people if they think they're going to go to jail if they do.
Okay, real brother. We got
a part right here, brother.
Go ahead and tell everybody to listen to your show.
They don't want to solve the problem.
You out there, real brother.
But we got to solve the problem. We can't have these coons running the show, and they don't want to solve the problem. We got to get the coons out the way.
Man,
okay.
Let's solve the problem and get those white people off the jury.
Real brother, tell everybody to listen to your show.
Airs at 10 a.m. Eastern Time weekdays on RealBrotherRadioNetwork.com.
All right, stay alive, Real Brother, stay alive.
Real Brother wants the coons to step and fetch it, as it were.
Thank you, Real Brother. We had Brett Christian on line 2. Hello, how are you?
Just fine. How you doing, Tanya?
Doing good.
Look, just want to say I really appreciate what y'all do. I don't always get to listen to the radio show, but I do appreciate the conversation.
Thank you for tuning in.
This. Yeah, my point is merely this. You know, we have Black History Month coming up in February.
Mm-hmm.
History is very important.
Right.
But I think we need to get together as a group and dedicate February to our future. Let's look at our future. Let's look at what we can do to make change. So it would be great if we could get a concerted effort to look at the past, which is fine, but let's work together towards our future. Let's make February a future month.
Well, let me take it a step further, Brett. I think we need to do it all
Every
12 months of the year, because I think that's where we are losing our young people. They have no idea what our ancestors went through, and they are going through is a repeat, and that's the unfortunate part.
The only time we want to get together, Brett, is when when a white police officer kills a black kid. Everybody wants to come together, but there should be times when we come together for other stuff to prevent this. And
I totally agree. But I think what we have to do, one thing that I'm really big on is setting goals. And I was talking to a young man last week, and he didn't believe that he had to write his goals down. And what I told him was that if your goals aren't written down, you have dreams. Everybody has dreams, okay? But we have to sit down together. We have to write goals. We have to put specific dates on those goals. Then we have to put action steps in place, which gives us a plan to reach those goals. That's how you make change. You can't just sit around saying this needs to be done and that needs to be done. So, I think as a people, we need to get together and we need to make a concerted effort and figure out what are the goals for our future. What do we want to leave for our kids? What do we want our kids' future to look like?
I agree with you 100%, Brett. Right. Very good point. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Well, go ahead.
On this, the Tamir Rice discussion, there's been talk on social media, places like that are saying that LeBron James needs to stop playing, or suspend his.
Well, I tell you what, hold that thought because we're going to take a break first. Go to Gary Gray first, and we're going to talk about it on the other side. Go ahead, Gary. How are you, friend? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you.
Okay, in 1857, the Dred Scott decision paralyzed this country. With the words of Justice Roger Taney, Chief Justice Taney said, all blacks are inferior beings, and although unassociated with white people, they either have no racial status or no political relations, so they are inferior to have no rights.
Yeah, but wasn't that overturned though later?
Yeah, but we're still there.
Okay, I agree with you. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Because you have Chief Justice Scalia saying what he said 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so what do you?
About black people not going to Ivy League schools. And change.
Okay. Being that there's no change, what do you suggest we do to make a change?
We need to go back to 1960. If you don't get the service you want, you boycott the place.
Okay, I agree with you boycotting. Yes.
If you don't get the right money deal, you don't go with that company.
Okay.
I mean, we're sitting here, and it all goes back to 1948, when brother Jackie Robinson went to the major leagues. That's all to start over again.
Okay, I got your point. You're right, and the problem is that trying to get us to make that sacrifice as far as boycotting and the protests that they did in the 1960s.
Too late.
People are not trying to
Folks
hear
don't want
that.
to sacrifice like
Well,
that.
that is, Mr. Reed, you have a football team in Washington, D.C., who has the most despicable name on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
And we as black people should not be supporting the Washington Football Club at the start.
Okay.
Well, a whole lot of people do. Yeah, right.
Thank you, Gary. Appreciate it. Go ahead, John. You want to respond?
You know, we often talk about history. I know Brent was on earlier. Brent, I know Brent. Brent works for me. Brent, go back to work. We have to evolve in our approach. Marching and protesting is not always the solutions for the problems that we have today. We were talking earlier about Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is a different approach than what the NAACP did in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s.
Wasn't NAACP as a result of the coalescing of the protests to become an organization to then wield some power towards making change?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So with that being said, there needs to have an organization with some power and some backing from Black Lives Matter. So we're seeing the NAACP analogously in its very infancy now with Black Lives Matter, right?
Very, very similar.
Okay.
Okay. Well, we could do a tribute to Natalie Cole and Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, and also Black Talk commentary coming up right now. Tanya Free and friends take a moment to remember two great women. Natalie Cole, singer, songwriter, and performer, rose to musical success in the 70s as an R&B artist with hits such as This Will Be, Inseparable, and Our Love. Natalie Cole, the daughter of the legendary Nat King Cole, is a legend in her own right. Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, author of The ISIS Paper and The Keys to the Colors. Dr. Welsing theories on race, racism, law, politics, and sexuality were some of the first of their kind to be studied on an international level. Natalie Cole, Dr. Frances Cress Welsing, rest in peace.
Has someone been there? Unforgettable in every way. And forevermore. And forevermore. That's how you stay. That's how you stay. That's why, darling, it's incredible that someone so unforgettable thinks that I am unforgettable too.
Has stirred emotions with an executive order directing the ATF to strictly enforce the Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act, which was passed in a bipartisan fashion in 1993. The executive action does not ban or take away people's guns, but it does bring executive powers back into the public debate. As Republicans rightly question the expansion of powers of the executive branch, many of them said nothing about the expansion of these powers during the previous administration. Both parties, it seems, picks and chooses what parts of the Constitution they ignore and only scream about constitutional authority of the executive branch when a member of their party isn't occupying the Oval Office. However, this does show that the president has broad powers as it pertains to the direction of the executive branch and all the agencies within it. Why then has the president not taken executive action to address gun violence as it pertains to police brutality and extrajudicial killings on the streets? At least 1,200 citizens were killed by police in 2015, many of them unarmed and caught on video, but we still don't have a full, accurate count of how many people police are killing. Why hasn't the president used executive authority in directing the withholding of federal grants to police departments who do not report the number of homicides they commit against citizens? Why doesn't the president use executive authority to end the drug war, which is really a war on black men, as stated by the late great Dr. Frances Cress Welsing? That is a question I'm sure no one is asking the CEO of USA Inc. This has been Scotty Reed with your Black Talk Radio Weekly Commentary. Join me for regular broadcasts on Black Talk Radio Network www.tanyafreeandfriends.com.
This is the Tanya Free and Friends Radio Network. Coast to coast, on air, online, and on point.
It's the little store with the big deal. Hall Street Mini Mart at 1314 Hall Street. Roundhouse convenient items, women and men accessories, men's suits, hats, and shirts by D&W Fashion, women pocketbooks, and jewelry. Open 7 days a week from 10 until 7 p.m. Call 232-3384 for more information. That's the little store with the big deal. Hall Street Mini Mart.
This is Tanya Free. If it's Monday, it's time for Let's Get Busy with your host, King Salim Kalfani, 4 to 6 p.m. here on the heart and soul of the city, WCLM 1450 AM. Kick off the week with KSK, Commonwealth Consultation, LLC, for 2 power-packed hours of news you can use, featured guests, cutting-edge commentary, and more. Let's get busy with King Salim Kalfani every Monday at 4.
WCLM 1450 AM, Highland Springs, Richmond. The soul of the city is WCLM 1450 AM.
Hi, I'm Brian Taylor with Send Out Cards. Send Out Cards is a card and gifting business like none other. This product will help you with prospecting. It will also help you with customer retention. Your friends and family will love the gifts and cards that you send to them. For more information on this amazing product, text Send Out Cards, all one word, 63975. Again, I'm Brian Taylor with Send Out Cards. Text Send Out Cards, all one word, 63975.
There's so much going on, it's crazy. Trouble all around. I'll tell you something, I'm not gonna let it get me down. I've been going through some funky changes. Changes all the same. We like the joy, but we can't really stand.
Join the conversation. Phone lines are open right now at area code 804-321-1010 in Central Virginia and 844-321-1010 coast to coast.
Okay. Van, you asked the question earlier,
Yes.
and let's talk about activists have started a campaign on social media calling for Cleveland Cavaliers star LeBron James to set out games to protest of the grand jury decision. Okay. Let me gather myself. Let me let y'all talk about this.
Can I say something?
Okay, let's go this way. How about that? Go
I
ahead.
think that people that don't like the decision, rather than asking LeBron James to not play the game, I think they shouldn't go to work I think they shouldn't go to work and not get paid.
Okay.
Because that's what they're asking LeBron James to do. Not get paid.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, if you think it's strong enough for him to do it yourself. Be a leader.
Okay.
And don't go to work.
Okay. All righty. Van?
Okay. I thought of an idea similar to this a long time ago about all of these injustices that go on to a specific segment of society. And I wanted to expand it to being not just a single player, but all professional athletes who are willing to do so. And it would require the top echelon of them to suspend their playing in order to possibly get something done. As far as LeBron James is concerned, well, that brother ain't living paycheck to paycheck, number one. Number two, the majority of his money ends up coming from, I believe, endorsements more than his Cleveland Cavaliers.
You think it's a good idea for him not to play, to protest this shooting?
I don't think it's a bad idea.
How long does he? How long should he be out? I mean,
how long?
Indefinitely?
Yeah. Indefinitely. Yeah.
Well, if he really wanted to stand up and be righteous to that extreme, it could be until they are convicted or at least charged with a crime, and he could easily wait him out.
How could
wait him out.
Someone that's a stranger, not involved, to do something, like doing their professional career,
Because
you should do something, and I'm gonna do nothing. You risk
Right.
your career and don't play basketball because it may last a year. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna keep watching the TV.
well, he's a slightly more high profile than myself. Only slightly now. Only slightly.
I can't believe you asked
First of all.
LeBron James
Secondly,
to sit down from playing basketball.
the amount of money,
and him
his
and that
presence
is-
generates in revenue for that city is considerably greater than the one that I
So he's responsible
generate
for
the
this
same
guy's
cities.
death. He's
No, he's not
responsible for all
responsible. He wants to see some justice done, I would hope. And if it
And
could
so-
happen
so
as a
his
result
money.
of
So
him not
he
playing,
extorts the city of Cleveland.
yes, you're right.
Yeah, he should extort the
And,
city of
and
Cleveland.
so you're saying he should sit out indefinitely to bring
Sure.
about change, and you think that'll work? Just him?
Yeah, come on now.
Yes.
They didn't ask
Just
anybody
him?
else. They didn't ask anybody else. They
Yeah.
just asked him.
What if he picked up and moved to Texas?
Well, why did they ask?
Why don't he move to Texas? Would he
Why
still
did
be
they ask
responsible?
him? You know why they asked him?
Yeah.
Probably.
He's the best player in the NBA right now. Maybe he's second to, on the same level or slightly above.
Let's get
Curry.
LeBron
let
to
me say
sacrifice.
this.
him
This
and
is totally.
family.
This is totally
Jeez.
different when
LeBron ain't
LeBron.
sacrificing Jack.
Okay, well, let me say this.
Unbelievable.
This is totally different when LeBron James wore the black T-shirt that said "I can't breathe" in protest of Eric Garner.
Right.
And when LeBron and Dwayne, they wore the black hoodies in protest of Trayvon Martin's death. It's one thing when you wear something, saying that, okay,
When it's
you're
symbolic.
right, opposed to setting out a game. When you set out a game, to me, you are risking your career because they'll find somebody else. May not be a LeBron James, but they'll find somebody else. I mean, that to
And
me,
that's fine.
That to me is putting too much
no question.
weight on one person. I can see if we were boycotting, and it was a unity of some kind,
That's what I
where
was
we as a
suggesting
group,
earlier.
if Black Lives Matter, the NAACP were in full swing,
They're not going to do anything.
Well, when we do these things, we have to have a result. I mean, we have to be going. We just can't be doing these things just to be doing them. We have to we have to have a measured result. Another issue: LeBron and all the NBA players with the owner of the LA Clippers. They protested that, and it was to affect a result.
Well, hold on. If I'm not mistaken, a college team,
Missouri.
Yeah, Missouri did this.
Yeah, they
It said
affected
that
the
we
result.
ain't gonna play until
Because it was
the
it was
president-
involved with the college. It was involved
Right.
with something
That's
regarding the team.
totally
it didn't happen to
different.
somebody in the public.
I don't know
That
how
is
different
totally
it
different.
is.
Yes,
I,
it
I,
is.
I would
It's
say it's
totally-
similar enough.
because you're asking one person to take on this whole
Yeah, I don't
responsibility.
expect. Yeah, I don't
of the
expect
situation.
LeBron to
You know how many
remove the
fans
minds of
come out
America.
to see
That's
LeBron James?
that's exactly why he should be the one to do
No,
it.
but you're not only punishing LeBron James, you're punishing the fans that pay their money to come see this guy, to have anything to do with
The restaurants downtown, the restaurant
I agree.
owners, yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and all of those voices will
You
will
sound
sing
you sound
loudly.
like Brett Brother
Get
on the
this
phone.
brother
There
back
you go.
on the court.
They
In order
sound
to
like
do
real
that-
brother.
He sound like real brother, man.
Hold on. In order to get this brother back on the court, we're gonna have to charge this dude with manslaughter.
And you think that would really do that?
I don't know why it wouldn't.
No,
God.
it
It seems
okay.
unlikely, but
Sean,
yo,
Man, I don't see that
agrees
as
with
a
us.
a black man in a White House seemed unlikely, didn't it?
No, that's we're not
All right,
talking. We're
then.
talking apples and oranges.
Okay,
bro.
well, let me
That's
read.
not
Sean
gonna
says, "Amen." They agree with you and I, Gilbert
Oh,
and,
okay, good.
and John. I just think that is too much to ask one person to take on. I think that, like Gary said, if we were boycotting and protesting and all of that, a total, complete movement
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
unity, then you can ask LeBron James or some other player or athlete of some kind to
Like-
do that. Until we get some unity and
It's
and
not
a
so much
full-
an ask. It's not
Yeah,
an
it's-
ask. It's a volunteer on his part.
No, he shouldn't do that either.
Well,
You know
he
what?
should do the exact same thing that Jim
I can't ask
Brown,
him for nothing. I
that
can
Bill
ask him
Russell,
for some money.
that Kareem Jabbar all did
Okay.
in the 60s. They moved
All
with
right,
the movement.
well, let's
Yeah,
do this. Let's ask some white players as well.
I'm sure.
Ask
I'm sure
Tom
you
Brady.
gonna- I'm sure you gonna have some.
Go to Tom Brady and ask him
Right.
and see what he would say.
What team does Tom Brady play for again?
It
New
doesn't
England
matter.
Patriots. Right.
The New England Patriots.
I understand, but
Yeah.
across the board, ask some other
Chicago.
players.
All the black players.
He's got an issue with balls, so you know.
I'm not even going to respond to
Nah,
that.
I wouldn't respond to
That's
that.
Lord and low.
That's right.
Okay. Well, let me read some of the comments with
that
regards
low.
to the LeBron James. Jesse said, I'm going to probably need my glasses now. For
Oh,
this.
here you go.
Okay. Jesse said his commitment to the community is unmatched. He does not jeopardize his job He does not jeopardize his job to make a change. Okay? No. He thinks that LeBron James should not. Lawrence said no. Why ask the fans to stay at home instead?
Why not? Your glasses are
No, that's a better. I agree. Why not ask the fans to stay at home? I think that's a better approach to this whole thing. Would y'all agree?
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Okay. Chan said the prosecutor needs to set out. Okay. Ben said this will not prove anything. Now, if the whole team decided to set out, I don't even recommend that.
Yeah,
I don't think the
no.
whole team needs to set out either.
Right.
Oh, it's so cold in here. Bear with me a minute. Okay. Let's see who we got. Where are the other comments? Okay. We got a call. Alabama. Scroll that down so I can see it. Oh, okay. This is all about Bill Cosby.
Not Bill.
Okay, well, that's it. That's all I have. Well, I just think that they need to ask some other players. And, before they even go to the players, that we need to unite and have some civic organization of some kind, be it NAACP, Black Lives Matter, somebody, to organize a movement.
Yeah,
once
again,
it becomes a movement, then...
We're talking about top down. They're asking LeBron to go top down, and it should be from ground up.
Yeah, right. I agree with that. She finished with that? Okay. Hi, Earl. How are you? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to y'all all, and I'm very pleased that you're on a topic that at the station we're speaking of a movement, and a movement need initiation, someone to initiate it. In all 2015, Tanya Free and friends and Earl Bradley and others discussed what we need to do, but we never really galvanized behind any particular situation. We never pursued, even when Brown ran, it was a dialogue, but there was no support in reference to being different from the process. So this is what we keep saying. Now we're looking at the millionaires from top to bottom, when in reality it's just us galvanizing. So the station, WCLM, 14th AM radio, and the Hot and Soul newspaper has already established and promoting a People's Candidate Forum, which will deal with and target City Council, the school board, and the mayor next election in November. We're looking to have our forums in July, August, the 3 months before November. It will be broadcast, promoted, and demanded. And how is it demanded? By you, the listeners, y'all. This is where we need y'all to galvanize and just engage the dialogue through social media that this is going to happen. We will update, let you know where it's going to be. The public is the ones that comes with the questions that will be aired through the station and the newspaper and blessed by Tanya Freeman of the topic of the debate. The candidates will only be able to have 3 minutes to who they are, why they should be in their awards. At that point, they get 2 minutes to answer the questions from the people. No crosstalk, because we only want to know how you're going to fix it in the environment you're in now. We don't care about the other person's mama, their daddy, because the other debates in the news would deal with that stuff. This debate, the public candidate forum, sponsored by the Hot and Soul newspaper, your station, needs your support to galvanize, to continue the conversation that this is going to happen, that puts the pressure on the new candidate and the incumbent to be there versus not even showing up at Virginia Union University with the Crusade for Voters debate, even though they were the incumbent. They could at least greet and meet the people, but then even the people didn't show up. So thank you, Sister Free, for allowing me to express this as the new sales and promotional manager at WCLM 1450 AM radio. And this is where the station is taking us. We are now saying, here is something we're doing. If you're in agreement with the concept, start the social media conversation of what is about to happen.
Okay, we got it. Thank you, Earl. We appreciate that.
Thank you. Take care.
Let me read one more comment. I can't pronounce the first name, but the last name is Gothard. She says, with regards to LeBron James, hell no. If he sets out, everyone in Cleveland needs to boycott their place of employment. What you said, Gilbert. Shut the whole MF down, city down. Now I bet Cleveland has changed his mind. Okay. So much for LeBron James, and I think that someone made a comment too that he didn't know enough about the situation. I think that was his way of saying, "Look, I am not going to entertain the request." Yeah, it was. That's basically what it was, because he is very in tune with what's going on. So I think that's the reason why, and we should not think that he is not in tune with this whole situation at all. So with that, is it time for a break? Oh, okay. Well, we're going to turn to Bill Cosby and that situation, which I was hoping that would stay in 2015. But unfortunately, they made it a point to bring it over in 2016. On the heels of the 12-year statute of limitations to file charges, Bill Cosby has been charged in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, with 3 counts of aggravated indecent assault. The felony sexual assault charges against the 78-year-old each carry a minimum of 5 to 10 years in prison. The question is, do we think Bill Cosby will be convicted?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
It really is.
That's a tough call.
Really?
Because he's has such a reputation for family and stuff like that. He's been
the Cliff Huxtable.
Yeah, and the people find him. It's kind of weird because you see this nice guy, then you hear all the stuff he's been doing to all these women. It's like, what? And you have to, is this real? You know, when people ask, is this? I can ask myself, did he really do it? And the evidence is coming out that he did something.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
well, I tell you what, hold that thought. Today's jazz break is Mr. Magic by Grover Washington Jr., sponsored by Hong Kong Tailors, custom and ready-made fashions for men and women. Give them a call, 804-359-5441.
This is Tanya Free. Hong Kong Tailors at 3200 West Broad has been catering to your needs for over 40 years. Custom-made suits, shirts, pants, coats, and more. Need that special outfit today? No problem. Visit their extensive selection of ready-made fashion and accessories for both men and women. The smart way to shop and a better way to dress. Mention Tanya Free and receive a 10% discount on your next purchase. That's Hong Kong Tailors, 3200 West Broad, 804-359-5441.
The typical Cosby accuser. He gave me something. I drank it. Then woke up 40 years later and the president was black. I was raped.
It's the Real Brother Radio Show.
New time, 10 a.m. Eastern on Real Brother Radio Network and RealBrotherRadioNetwork.com. Brought to you by Black Trade Lines. Go to BlackTradeLines.com and register your business or service today. Join the Black Trade Circle, where empowerment is only a download away.
Do you use Viagra or Cialis? Have you been thinking about trying Viagra or Cialis? What if we could promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for Viagra, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call 800-610-3497 and get your 44 pills for $99. Stop overpaying for Viagra. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in an unmarked package. Call us right now, 800-610-3497, 800-610-3497. That's 800-610-3497.
You're listening to AM/FM 247, music you love from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Best talk radio all day and every day.
Join the conversation. Phone lines are open right now at area code 804-321-1010 in Central Virginia and 844-321-1010 coast to coast.
Wendell on line 1. How are you, friend?
Hey, how you doing, Tanya?
I'm doing good.
How are your friends doing today?
We're doing well.
We're doing great.
A little chilly, but it's all right.
Yeah, I want to comment on Bill Cosby situation.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Now, everybody knows the whole situation with Herman Cain. And now all those allegations fell off soon as he dropped out. Everybody knows that. But do everybody know that Bill Cosby was planning on buying NBC?
Right, we were just talking about that during the break. Go ahead.
And does everybody know that Bill Cosby had 4 family network shows that were supposed to premiere on NBC in 2015?
Okay.
And do everybody know now that NBC now has a black NBC? So do you see where I'm going?
Right.
They brought all these allegations of all these women, and it doesn't even pan out, and the allegations don't even sound right because Bill Cosby was planning on buying NBC and having 4 family-orientated shows on NBC that went against the whole homosexual agenda as a family, and now that they took away that contract from him that he had with the shows, and now he can't buy NBC, now NBC has implemented a black NBC to reach out to the black audience.
Okay, well, all right, let me ask you this.
So you got to understand, what's at play here.
Okay. Do you remember when Bill Cosby's son got killed on the side of the road in California?
Yeah.
Okay. What you were talking about was speculated as being the exact same thing then. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember the story.
Okay. But as to how that happened and the why was around the same cause if he was contemplating buying NBC. I have heard that he was talking about buying Netflix or something like that. There's a whole lot more to this than it's simply someone got a dose of moral outrage or something like that.
Yeah.
A lot more to it.
It's a whole lot more into it. But, just the fact of if you know what he was planning on doing with NBC, and then that's when all the allegations and everything like that with the women and all that, and now NBC has a black NBC.
But what channel is that on? What channel is that black NBC on? I've never heard of this until today.
They just started. NBC is about to launch the black NBC. They're about to launch.
Elaborate. When you said the black NBC, like Van just said, where is it and where can we get more information about it?
You can go. You can go on the you know how you go on the internet and go to the website NBC execs and all that stuff. You can go on there and find out what the station is doing or what it's up to or what it has coming out.
Is it is it functioning now as we speak, or is this something yet to be implemented?
I don't think it's functioning right this second as we speak.
Okay,
but there's something that's in the plans to bring out the black NBC.
Okay, so you're saying that all this, the allegations against Bill Cosby was to sabotage everything that he was planning on doing with NBC and Netflix and all of that.
Yeah, you got to add that into the equation.
Okay.
You have to add that into the equation.
Well, I've heard that, but I haven't seen anything real concrete with regards to that or more. I'm surprised somewhere along the line somebody hasn't delved more into that to bring it to the forefront.
Tanya. They won't dab more into that.
Okay.
Because they don't. You're not even supposed to know about that.
Okay.
Tanya,
thank you, Wendell. Go ahead.
Before we dip into conspiracy theories here, this is what I call the OJ syndrome. When OJ was accused of killing his wife, for the most part, black folks in America really didn't care one way or another about OJ. And when he got in trouble, we all rallied around him. It was all
I
these.
didn't. I didn't.
Well, it was all these, and we as a people rallied around OJ. 6 months later, 6 months earlier, we couldn't stand him. I would think that we should resist doing the same thing with Bill Cosby, because apparently he has done some horrible things.
He is a serial rapist if what's said is true, period, end of story.
You think all 50, 60, or whatever the number is now of the women? Are you saying that?
It would have to be at least two in order for it to be serial, wouldn't it?
All right, yeah. I know, Sarah, but no, that's not what I was saying, Van. I was asking you whether or not you think he is guilty with regards to all the women.
Why should that matter, Tanya?
Because I believe that, no, I'm not talking about Forrest and being a serial. I'm saying I just have a problem with all these women that are coming out that hurting the cases of the women that were actually raped, because I think that people see all these numbers and think that will lean more towards that, okay, this is fabrication. Mm-hmm. That's what I think is the problem that I'm have a problem with all these women. I just wish that as a woman, don't make it worse for the women that were actually raped by you jumping on the bandwagon so you can get paid.
Okay.
Let's go to AO on line 2. Hello.
How you doing, John?
Fine. How about you? Good. How about you? Go ahead, AO.
Okay, let me first start off with saying, even though these allegations are out there, they'll never prove it. So literally, it's just taking your attention away from something else. And the more women, the greater the sensationalism.
Right.
If you
that was my
his
point.
Attorney, she already said to you, they can't prove any of this, and it's on the prosecutor's plate. The prosecutor is doing this here for another objective.
Yeah.
I think what we ought to really understand is that right now in Oregon, white people have taken over a federal facility with armed weapons, and the news, the very news that you're talking about on TV, are calling them patriots. But if they were black people, they would be terrorists. See, we get caught up in the sensationalism of what is happening to one brother, while there's things happening right now in our community. The we're talking about going to war, World War III. 90% of the black community don't even realize that, but their sons and daughters will be the ones that they pursue, because right now there's a bill in Congress to reinstate the draft. By this time, and also will include women.
I have an argument behind the draft statement.
Okay.
But what I'm trying
That's
to get you to understand
That's a very good point.
These are the things we should be focusing on.
That is so very true.
You think for 1 minute that Bill Cosby going either way is going to affect anything in your life? But
very good point.
When that draft hits the House, and the House definitely going to push it through, and the Senate's going to definitely push it through, do you think for a minute the dirt children are going to go to war? A war that we really, as Americans, we don't want to be in. This is a war for financiers to make more money. Mm-hmm. The sad part about it is, once again, the people who are the victims are the least to know, because they are very ill-informed, because they are following the program. Mm-hmm. And the program right now is to be sensationalist, so that we can keep their emotional factors focused on the sensation. Mm-hmm. Where do you think Empire came from? It's about sensationalism. Mm-hmm. And their ratings are falling because there are people who are waking up. If you really want to hear Congress face the music, have you heard anybody in any of these debates say anything about war when they all know we're on the verge of it? Mm-hmm. Ask one candidate. Ask one candidate this question.
Sorry, war with who?
War. When we go to war, we're going to war with three factions at once, because guess what? This is not a war as you know it. This is a war about money and finance.
What country are you talking about?
Well, actually, there's three countries.
Three countries.
Russia. Let me explain it to you. Russia and China have already formed alliance with Assyria.
Okay.
Right now.
Let me give you some facts then.
That's right. Right now, Senator McCain is pushing us to make a physical assault in the South China Sea, or what he calls the South Pacific area. And the sad part about it is it has nothing to do with our interests. It only has to do with the money makers.
Okay.
What we have to do
That's
is
been the
sit
case
down,
in World War II, World War One. Yeah.
Absolutely, but guess who the losers were?
Well, we're going to fight the war. Where's the war going to be fought at?
Well, I don't think it'll be fought on American soil right away, because I think the biggest war we're going to have here is when that dollar drops. Because when that dollar drops, it's going to affect everybody
I think
in the domestic chain.
Yeah. Well, of course he's speculating.
The draft bill will never pass.
Let me tell you why there's not going to really.
Would you turn your radio down, please, sir?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gilbert.
Okay. Why there's not going to really be a war? Number one, if you look at for instance, Russia has, I think, 4,000 airplanes, fighter planes, compared to America has 13,000. China may have 6,000. I don't know what other country, and also America has 20 carriers to actually, what's called the Blue Fleet, to actually take a whole army to your shore and fight you. China has, I think, 2 carriers, just built a new one. Russia has 1 carrier. They have a lot of submarines. But they don't have the substantial to fight a war, because when you fight a war, you have to continually supply the resources to keep that war going. For instance, we have, and this is when you talk about politicians, even the Republicans talk about we should not downsize the military. We should not downsize the military. Well, right now, we are 1,000 times more powerful than any country on the face of the earth America is. And the question is, should we be 1,000 times more powerful or 100 times more powerful? And so when it comes to actual fighting a war, there's no country that can sustainable. China has to get its oil from somewhere else. They don't even have refineries to produce oil. So
China
you may have the money, but you have to have the resources to fight a war.
500-acre refinery in Saudi Arabia. They have their oil pipeline. It ain't even about that. This is about people who are edging
They don't have the resources to fight a
system.
substantial war. Russia doesn't right now, to come down to the straits and fight a war right now. If they fight a war, they're going to come down like they've been doing from country to country to country. Then they're going to jump countries, come all the way here to fight a war.
Here, let me help out Gilbert real quick. We got these things nowadays called nuclear weapons.
Well, wait a minute. Let him respond. Go ahead, Ayo.
I said they're going to war. Right now, they're at war in Syria. You're looking at this as being on one or another soil. No, what they've done already is dismantled the American dollar to the degree it's not even accepted on the world market. We got to open our eyes. This is not going to be a conventional war.
Now, I completely, I challenge that from the standpoint that, as far as I know, all oil that's bought and sold on this planet is done so in dollars. Therefore, it's the planet's reserve currency.
You know what? You are really lost, brother. I mean, right now, they're telling you. Listen,
get me out the woods.
They are telling you right now there is an energy conference in Florida.
Okay.
And they're telling you right now the reason why the energy conference is being held is because they want to get leverage on the American gold supply to see how much is there. You know why? Because China's videotaping their gold, letting you know that their dollar is backed by the gold. United States' dollar is backed by a promise.
That's
and
right.
guess what? They don't want the promise no more. They want result. And the only thing that kept that there was the petrodollar position. That is about to fall.
Okay, so what is the end game then? Because all currency pretty much is based in theory anyway, because gold, the value of it is only what you're willing to buy it for in the first place. So that's a fantasy too.
You need to talk to the Rothschilds, brother.
Listen, brother, the Rothschilds is deep in this war because guess what? They're losing the most powerful financial position ever established.
No.
When this Chinese-Russian bank comes together, why do you think the IMF had started the SDRs? You know why? Because they know they cannot compete with the amounts of gold that these other countries are holding. We better wake up, and guess what?
You might as well say straw.
Hold on. If you got a bank account right now, I would suggest you go out and buy some gold or some silver, because your dollar, when it's no good, that will be the currency of the day, and those who don't have it will have no currency.
Oh, we're long past those days when gold can move a market like that. We are.
Brother, you fail to realize that we have entered a technological market now, and literally that gold is going to be the leverage money to have. If you don't have it, you will have no leverage.
Okay.
But listen, I'm only calling in, Tanya, because, once again, I've been avoiding your show because these people are keeping black people in the dark. I'm trying to give you a little light, but who knows what may happen now.
We appreciate
y'all be blessed.
Thank you, Ayo. Thank you so very much. Sunshine, we got to take a break. Please hold on line 1, okay? Thank you.
War. What is it good for?
Why you
nothing?
Voting for?
Hey, this is Coffee Black, coming through to bring you the latest in sports, celebrity, and entertainment news. Here's the sip this week. Happy New Year. Shout out to all the teams who made the playoffs, including my Steelers. So, Amaya Scott was supposed to be on this season's Real Housewives of Atlanta. It was a big deal because she would have been the first transgender on the show. And no, Nene Leakes doesn't count. So, Amaya's been saying that she quit the show because they were trying to exploit her, and producers are saying they cut her because she's just boring. So, I think most people cast her these type of shows exploit themselves for fame. So I don't disagree with Amaya, but that should have been expected if you don't come with your own platform like Kenya and Kim Fields. Moving on. R.I.P. to Natalie Cole, definitely one of the greats. Prayers to her family. Lastly, Chris Brown is involved in another scandal. This woman claiming he punched her in the face. Breezy's clapping back saying he didn't touch her and she just mad because she didn't get chose by the crew. Apparently she's accused other celebrities in the past, so now Chris is suing her. Clearly somebody lying. I'll keep you posted. I'm just saying. Check out more on my site, thesipwithcoffeeblack.com, and tune in next week on the new musicexchangeradio.com for The Sip with Coffee Black. No sugar, no cream.
Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. That's the type of girl I need down with my team. Black coffee, no sugar, no cream. Hey, that's the kind of girl I need.
Check out the Famous Brown TV show every Saturday night at 2 a.m. and Monday mornings at 5 a.m. with your host, Preston Brown. It's exciting, it's fun, it's informative. It's the Famous Brown TV show on CW Richmond 65.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Are you nearing eligibility for Medicare benefits? Then you know now is an important time in your life. Medicare benefits can be a complicated puzzle. You don't want to overpay for your Medicare coverage or get the wrong plan. Let Health Markets Insurance Agency help you. With one free phone call, a licensed insurance agent will help you select a Medicare plan that's right for you and your budget. If you're becoming eligible for Medicare, call today and learn how to get the most out of your benefits.
800-365-6303. 800-365-6303.
Health Markets Insurance Agency is the DBA or assumed name of InSphere Insurance Solutions, Inc., which is an authorized insurance agency in all 50 states and the District of Columbia. Not all agents are licensed to sell all products. Service and product availability varies by state.
Call 800-365-6303. 800-365-6303. 800-365-6303. That's 800-365-6303.
Check out the Tanya Free and Friends Rewind every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern on the May We Help You Radio Network at mwhwradio.com.
So I can't get around it. So low, you can't get under it. So high, you can't get over it. I can't get over it. This is a chance. This is a chance to dance your way out of your constrictions. How? Jill shook 'em. Here's a chance to dance our way out of our constriction. Gonna be freaking up and down the hang-up alleyway with a groove I only got.
Join the conversation. Phone lines are open right now at area code 804-321-1010 in Central Virginia and 844-321-1010 coast to coast.
Okay, we're going to go straight to the phone. Sunshine, how are you?
Yeah, Happy New Year.
Same to you.
I'm lost now because we went into so much different stuff. But,
it was Bill Cosby was the last topic we were talking about.
I know. I wanted to talk about Bill Cosby because people try to say it's a conspiracy because he's a black man and all this. But that was not the first time I heard about this.
Right.
It actually came out in the 1990s.
Yep. So why did he do nothing then?
And it was brushed under the rug because some of these women were paid off, and he had the big NBC behind him.
Mm-hmm.
Now that he's not out like he was, they going back for him again.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe he gives his sin, and I don't care what nobody says.
Okay, so
he took their love. He had his way with him, and then he has to pay. I'm sorry, he's an older man. He's sick and blind, but when you do something, we'll come back on you.
Okay, so you said he should be charged and go to jail and throw away the key, huh?
I I mean, he should be. I mean, he already paid our money, so I don't know if he should go to jail now because he's so old and feeble. He ain't gonna last too long. It's the way they claim. So I don't know.
Okay. We appreciate that. Thank you, Sunshine. Have a good one now.
You too, darling.
John, what do you think?
She's right. I don't know if he got that much money. To pay off 50 people. Well, at least
He's divided this up in 40 ways, you know.
Yeah, man.
Well, let me ask you all
like a
this
hard
question. I know that they are trying to get his wife to testify against him. And
what is that all about?
Well, she was his business manager.
Oh, is that what it is?
But you still can't testify against your husband.
From that standpoint, but by her being his business manager, that changes the dynamics a little bit.
But they don't know how they're going to separate the two unless she's schizophrenic for real.
Right. That's a good
I
question.
joke to make the point.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny that what kind of business transaction could she bring over into a relationship that she had with sex? I mean, was she writing it down in the books? Well, he raped such and such a day. He have to pay her next week.
We'll watch that last night.
You know
that's not right.
Look, she left the bag in the study.
It sounds ridiculous, but
She
what
kept
did
the
she bring
inventory
over
on the Quaaludes.
from a business viewpoint about his rape when he was private? He didn't tell her.
Did you say, John?
I said she kept the inventory on the Quaaludes.
You know that's not right. That is not
Bill
right.
Sometimes you can just on a
Bill
fish
hit the other one
hunt.
last
You're
night.
fish hunting right here.
Well, I've heard.
The trifling girl left a wig.
Okay, but I think we need to go to the next subject because you all are having too much fun. I just think that.
I'm trying to.
Let me be honest. One thing, he has an excellent lawyer because they really played it up when you saw him leaving the court, and it looks like the Cliff Huxtable that we saw on the show.
Poor guy.
And that really touches your emotions. That because
are you trying to say that he was acting?
He gets an award. He played it. He played it. Because it made you think, okay, that's Cliff
Have you ever seen him with a cane? I think I've ever seen him with a cane.
And I've seen it with that cardigan and all that, and it look a whole lot older than, older. Suddenly.
Did you see that cane? That was like
I've never
a
seen him
Charlie
with a cane.
Chapman cane, little skinny thing.
Looked like he couldn't see. He was blind. He was when he stumbled. That was it. I'm like, what the heck?
I think to hold him up to get him inside.
Oh my goodness! So yeah.
Well, I thought maybe his health had failed him.
Suddenly,
the last time we saw him, I said, "Well, maybe so."
Well, he was just touring last year. I mean, last few months, and all of a sudden, looked like his health. I mean, went straight downhill. But they were playing it. They were playing that all the way up. They really were. So, but I'm with Sunshine. If he did it, yes, he should serve time. And being especially, it's questionable because there is a deposition where I believe he made a statement with regards to, let me see. It said a 2005 investigation to Cosby led to a deposition in which Cosby admitted that he had, as the two-way report, this is the report, obtained the seductive Quaaludes with the intent of giving the drug to women with whom he wanted to have sex, and he acknowledged giving it to at least one woman. And I think that statement is what's going to
put
the nail in the coffin.
If you rape somebody,
you did 10.
And you say, "Well, honey, I'll pay you off $1 million."
What sort of rapist says, "Oh,
honey"? Yeah.
No, I'm just throwing it out there. But listen to this: if you rape somebody and say, "I'm sorry, I'll pay you $100 $1 million if you keep it hush hush," you pay them $1 million and they come back years later and sue you for criminal activity. Shouldn't you get your money back?
From my understanding, was the prosecutor
some
kind of way that was part of that was not sealed. Some kind of way it was something that was not sealed that it allowed them to be able to go after him on criminal charges.
I'm only speculating.
Don't speculate.
But I'm going to think that once you've paid off something, there's a gag order that if anything like that comes up again, you are legally bound to not be able to participate.
Oh, okay.
Again, that's speculation.
Well, then how can they even open the file up if he's there's no witnesses?
What I read, there is some sort of glitch or something that allowed them to be
able. Again, you're talking about folks that made the rules to begin with, so they know how to break them.
To make that allow them to bring criminal charges. some kind of way there was some sort of loophole, like you said.
What's the attorney's name? Let's give him a call and find out the real story.
Yeah, go ahead. You don't want to call this sister. No, she may have you on charge. You better stop. You better.
I'm gonna call the district attorney. What do you
like? I heard your radio show. There's something wrong with you.
Let's switch.
Look at the story here. LA District Attorney won't file charge against Cosby. That's breaking news right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
right.
Out in LA, he's saying he's not going to file charges because he has good sense.
Wow, that's
this is old information. I mean,
Right.
They have no evidence.
It's declined to bring criminal charges against him.
Let's shift gears for just a minute and talk some political talk. Donald Trump.
For what?
President.
Still holding on.
President
Still holding on strong.
Of the United States of America.
You know what? I think,
let's stand, ladies and gentlemen, do the pledge of allegiance.
He's going to be at Liberty University on the 18th. I think I'm going to go.
Okay.
I want to be there and just smell it as it comes out of the horse's behind.
No, seriously, he's going to be here in Virginia?
Yes, at Liberty University.
Oh, interesting. What day?
January 18th.
Oh, right in the corner.
I don't know what time.
Okay. Do you all think he's going to be the nominee?
I
John?
hope so.
I believe he is, and I think it is
the way he's going now.
Yeah.
I think he is. I mean,
I don't see a path for anybody else. If he wins Iowa and if he wins New Hampshire, there is absolutely no path for anyone else. Even if he loses Iowa and wins New Hampshire, there is just no path for anybody else.
Exactly.
I think
it's going to be.
And if he wins, it's
brokered
probably the
convention.
best thing that could happen to the Republican Party to the Democratic Party in the generation.
Okay, and Van, you hope so? Why do you hope this?
Because he's clearly going to get smoked, and it doesn't matter who's on the Democratic side. I am wondering when someone is going to finally bring up the whole Central Park 5 issue with him. His response to it initially, and when they were found not guilty, or the person that did it admitted to it. His response was the city shouldn't pay him a dime, blah, blah, blah. I'm waiting for someone to come out and mention that in
but
public.
that doesn't disqualify you from being a president.
It disqualifies you from being someone of character.
Oh, people know they don't have character. Come on. That's one of the things. But this is the thing. I think Donald went into this thing kind of throwing his head out there, and once it took momentum, I think right now, the way things are going, he's kind of real committed to seeing this thing to the end.
Yeah, he's
talking before.
You're right. I agree. I think he is. I don't think he was from the beginning.
Yeah.
I think from the beginning he was like, okay, something to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
But
watching him
when
this
he
morning.
started to.
I was watching him this morning. He was naming foreign countries and capitals of the countries and talking foreign policy. And I think
He's getting real
he's
serious
evolved
about it.
here.
Yeah, he has.
Do you know
He really
that
has.
England is contemplating passing some sort of ban against him coming in the country?
That's foolish.
That's foolish, yeah.
Well,
Really?
regardless of how
let's-
foolish it is, that's what's being possibly discussed.
See, Donald Trump is
a
some people
douchebag.
are seeing him having the guts to stand up for the American people, and even though he says things, people see him as a leader and not as a wimp.
So you think he has the wherewithal to be president?
I don't know. To me, it's scary, and I'm a Republican. I really don't know about this guy. I don't really know about this whole Republican.
Well, you better know about it. Those supposed to be your people.
I don't dictate what's happening.
About to
All I do
find
is
out.
actually have to look
Yeah, for real.
and find out. I have to get the information like you guys get it.
Right.
So I want to be right and just when I put my vote down too. So when I'm listening from Donald Trump, I'm trying to find out. Okay, some of this stuff is crazy, but my question is, what is real about this person? And so that's what I'm trying to find out.
And that's very hard with any candidate to try to figure
Exactly.
out what's
Yeah, 6
actually
months
real.
ago,
Always
Donald
voting
Trump
for
was a
people, and they always
Democrat.
change in the middle of the street. I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
He's really a
That's-
fascist, racist douchebag.
You can't call him a
Well,
racist.
and also too.
Yes, I can. You're not familiar with so much stuff. I just don't even want to talk.
Oh my Lord!
Okay, we got a few more minutes. Y'all been getting along. Let's hold on. Just hold on. But
Do you
the
not
thing
know about
is,
Central Park 5?
No, go back to her question.
the thing is, we allow it. And we talked about this, a few shows back, as to why we allow these folks to be candidates, presidential candidates. Say the things
Because
that they say.
You can't disallow them. You can't disallow them.
That's true.
The voters disallow something from happening in this regard.
Well, I think we can disallow it or not give them credibility by folks standing up and saying, no, we're not going to have it. When they get the support of a few that
He
is
ain't the
actually
issue.
being active.
It's his
That's-
supporters that's the issue.
Right, it is.
Donald Trump says
you can't
stuff
forbid
which
him
other
from being a
politicians are
douchebag.
so afraid to say because they want to be politically correct.
Yeah.
Donald
No,
Trump says, you don't pay my
he's
bill.
radical, and
He's
that
radical. And that's
stirred
what
up
people-
Way
the
radical.
ones that the radical base.
talking about banning
that,
certain
that
people
the
of a-
media
of a-
gravitates towards.
People
That's
Well,
the thing.
religion.
you know, what I'm waiting to see is the mainstream
why not?
Republican
Why not?
Party reach
Wait a minute,
out.
y'all.
I'm waiting for the mainstream Republican Party to take their party back. I've been waiting for them to do it for 8 years now. They just
We
keep
don't want
going.
them to take it back. When you talking about the traditional
the
Republican?
mainstream Republican Party, yes.
No,
Yeah.
we don't want those traditional old heads in there because they don't do anything.
And if
Okay.
Donald
we want
Trump
somebody
does
in
get
there
the
that can do
nomination,
something.
Okay,
If Donald Trump-
who are
Regardless
y'all
to what
looking
it
to do
is?
that? Who do you all looking to do that? Who are you looking at?
We're
What
looking
leaders?
at Cruz or Rubio to make some
Oh,
changes. I mean,
gosh.
we don't want
The man
Jeb
that-
Bush. I
that
don't think
recited-
we
Well,
want Jeb
let
Bush.
me say
Dr.
this.
Seuss
How can you
in a
look
re-
at Cruz and Rubio when they are not doing what they're supposed to do? And Donald Trump says this all the time.
Yep.
And Chris Christie says this all the time, that they are not reporting to do what they're supposed to be doing now.
But you look at. But I'm saying this.
Obama
That's
did
what
the
we
same
got.
thing.
That's what we
Obama
got.
did the
We
same
got-
thing. He didn't
we
show
got
up for
Trump.
Senate votes.
We got Trump, Rubio,
Okay.
or Cruz, and we have to pick what we got. And those guys are the only ones that are out there that I know that has a chance to make something happen.
Rubio
And
has Rubio has no chance of being the president of the United
You
States.
think Cruz does? You think
Don't
Cruz
know.
does?
Cruz may have a chance. Rubio has no
Gosh.
chance. He has no path.
Gosh,
When they go to
Look, it's
the
more
when they go to
likely
the
that-
SEC
Scary.
on March the 1st, he has nowhere to go.
that's very
Rubio would
scary.
have a better chance of getting in the next version of Menudo
Yeah.
Well, we'll
than
see.
being president.
We
Period.
shall.
And
That's
then
what,
even if
that's
he
what
got
they say
the-
about Obama. We
Then
shall
even
see.
he get the nomination, he's got to beat Hillary Clinton
Yeah.
or Bernie Sanders. He can't beat either.
Okay, well, as always, I thank God, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing us the opportunity to speak and hopefully heard. Thanks to our listening friends, blessings to each and every one of you, and of course, thanks to Gilbert, Van, John, Antoinette, Niera, Coffee Black, El Bravador, Roosevelt, Marcus, and Mr. Free. I'm Tanya Free. Until next time, be free. Remember to live life with a purpose.
Share a spice of life. Ain't a spice tonight. We gonna prove tonight. Let us flow. Get you to move. It's alright, alright, alright. Let us flow. Set in the shoes and stand up. Alright, alright. Gonna tell you what you can do with my love. Alright. Let you know, girl, you're looking good. You're out of sight. Alright, just move yourself and glide like a 747, and you lose yourself in the sky among the clouds in your heaven thoughts. Let us move. Why you confused? It's alright, alright, alright. Let us go. Set in your shoes and stand up. Alright, alright. Let me tell you what you can do with my love. Alright. Gotta let you know, girl, you're looking good. You're out of sight.
The Tanya Free and Friends Talk Show is a presentation of Freedom Marketing Incorporated. All rights reserved. Views and comments expressed are not necessarily the views of the host and or this station.